During the last few centuries, many philosophers, scientists, and academics have created competing theories about what motivates decisions. Some of those include William McDougall's instinct theory, B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Victor Vroom's expectancy theory, or the incentive theory promoted by political and economic theorists. And while all of these theories contain some amount of truth, some apply more to social psychology, while others apply more to economics. Gain-loss evaluation theory is a cross-disciplinary theory of motivation that evolved out of my own research, and it basically consists of two parts. The first is gain-loss evaluation, or how the brain evaluates things in the world as a gain or loss in relation to one's interests or goals. And the second is the effect of gains and losses, which describes the powerful emotional response produced by the prospect of making gains or experiencing losses. As people are moving throughout life, their brain is making gain-loss evaluations that influence the choices they make. An example would be how people tend to protect the things they value, such as personal safety, family, marriage, or some other interest. And they usually choose to discard or destroy the things they don't value or that create loss, such as termites that eat away at their home. Gain-loss evaluations may influence a person's self-esteem and whether a person feels that one has something of value to contribute. It may influence personal relationships based on whether certain personal qualities are valued. So in almost every choice a person makes, the brain is making a gain-loss evaluation in relation to one's interests and goals. The second part of gain-loss evaluation theory is the effect of gains and losses. When a person makes a substantial gain or experiences a substantial loss, those gains or losses can evoke powerful emotions, which further motivates the person to action. If a person is late for a departing train, that person may experience a wave of fear and anxiety that motivates the person to start running toward the train stop. The emotion of love further motivates a couple to help one another. And the emotion of anger, triggered after purchasing a defective product, motivates the customer to get a refund. And you can see the effect of gains and losses most obviously when watching sports events. The fans of the winning team celebrate in the aisles, while the fans of the losing team appear to be horrified and in disbelief. Some of the biggest gains or biggest losses also trigger some of the most intense emotions. Consider a serious job loss, a death in the family, or a significant financial loss. All of those evoke significant emotional distress that can trigger some dramatic emotions. Research by Elizabeth Kinzinger found that emotionally provocative events, such as the birth of a child or a violent attack, tend to be remembered more vividly than other experiences. These are usually highly emotional events in which the person experiences a significant gain or a significant loss. Criminals are motivated by the effect of gains and losses when they seek the thrill of making a quick buck by lying or committing theft. Even irrational behavior arises from the effect of gains and losses. An example would be a driver who fears being late to work and speeds at 100 miles an hour down the highway, or suffering a devastating loss and being so emotionally crushed by the experience that it causes a decline in mental health, or being so inflamed by someone else's behavior that it motivates a hostile or violent act. Gain-loss evaluation theory and rational choice theory from microeconomics have many overlapping ideas. They both conclude that people try to make value-maximizing choices. However, only gain-loss evaluation theory explains a person's emotional investments in pursuing certain interests. It explains why a physicist would spend day and night in pursuit of a theory of everything, while not even knowing whether such a theory is even possible. Those pursuits could result in some very irrational choices. We could explore many other topics on motivation. However, it's also important to apply the theory in practice, and I would like to compare and contrast its performance with a popular motivational theory called cognitive evaluation theory proposed by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan. According to cognitive evaluation theory, people are motivated more by intrinsic motivators such as joy and happiness than extrinsic motivators such as money or material possessions. The reason this theory works, according to my own gain-loss evaluation theory, is that it recognizes the motivating effects of emotions. If a person enjoys doing work, then that person is more likely to do it. If a person dislikes doing work, then that person is less likely to do it. The problem with the theory is that extrinsic motivators still matter. People need money to put food on the table and will do what is necessary to earn a living. Additionally, joy and happiness are not always the ultimate goal and could misalign a person's objectives with fun and entertainment. Suppose management at a large corporation wants to improve employee retention by changing the company culture. So they adopt ideas proposed by cognitive evaluation theory and make the workplace more fun and entertaining. That certainly makes for a friendlier work environment, which is not a bad idea. But the problem with cognitive evaluation theory is that no matter how much a worker is emotionally rewarded, or even financially compensated for that matter, if the worker feels expendable, the job itself may begin to look like a loss. If a worker experiences a loss of safety, dignity, reputation, or respect, that loss could invoke embarrassment, anger, or fear that could motivate the individual to resign. However, if management helped workers to feel like they are gaining something, such as valuable work experience or the opportunity to be a better professional, then they may be more willing to stay. If management shows appreciation for great work at the end of a project, workers gain a sense of job security and may be more committed to the business and its mission. Thank you for watching this video. These topics and many more can be found in my recent book entitled Decision-Making Skills: A Guide to Handling Uncertainty, Driving Results, and Cultivating Well-Being.